Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now. Squall and Fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
Dare to mess with me? Too late for regret. Have fun with this gift.
Scaramouche, the mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
Everyone, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller-Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin Impact, and today I'm joined by...
Max, the one and only middleman, voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah, that's true, but to be fair, it's a really cool fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm super excited to have the chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Yeah, that trailer had everything. It had everything. It had action. It had drama. It was lighthearted in places, but it was dramatic.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just super stoked for everyone to see Scaramouche's, backstory. I'm super excited about it, for reals.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's wanting to know is how he'll become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest Interlude chapter, Inversion of Genesis. There is so much to learn in this quest, so I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone hanging like that. How about some hints? Come on, please. Please.
All right. How can I say no to a cute chibi Ito?
You can't.
Here's a little preview from the quest.
We ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
That
Oh,
was
man.
pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It is interesting, though, to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this interlude chapter, Nahida will task the Traveler and Paimon with keeping an eye on Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Oh, interesting. So obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Ooh, dude's looking sharp.
Heck yeah, always. No, right. And at this point, he's known by a completely different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay, so I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's really changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story for themselves in-game. I mean, it's better to explore the storyline without too many spoilers, right?
True, true.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, we'll leave the rest for travelers to discover themselves. But the Wanderer is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3, so let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at the Wanderer in combat.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
The wind rises. Bow your head.
All right, Patrick, you're up. Help introduce the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an animo vision, so he uses wind blades to perform ranged normal attacks.
Wait a second, wind blades?
Not the same as the Traveler's wind blade, though.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo Fushudan and Kugu Tofukai respectively. The damage they deal and their AoE will be increased. Their damage will be considered normal and charge attack damage, respectively. Also, Kugu Tofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome! He can fly!
I know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which is the blue meter you see on the screen. Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little differently than our typical stamina meter. There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to keep increasing hovering height. Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly. So with his talent, Jade Claim Flower, when casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. The Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect, allowing him to sprint mid-air without consuming Kuguryoku points. Additionally, this buff effect will fire wind arrows to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the Wanderer's elemental burst.
Sweet.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy. So, travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can decrease the mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey now, you can never complain about saving Mora, am I right?
Okay, that's true. All right, now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character. Are you ready?
I'm ready!
Yay!
What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Farozan, and I'll see if I can pick that up. What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments? Wait, did you forget to call me Madam Farozan just now when you asked your question? Whoa! What? There's nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Oh, she sounds
gosh.
sassy.
Yeah,
know.
and smart too.
She seems so awesome.
She's fun.
I wonder what her skirt's made
I
out
know,
of.
her design is so cool and really detailed. I love it.
So, even though she looks super young, she's actually an old person? Like, where's my teeth?
Well, she's not that old.
I
Oh,
don't know,
right.
could've fooled me.
Faruzan's age is probably still nothing compared to Scaramouche.
Mm-hmm. But let's call him the Wanderer, Sarah, please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's right, yeah, no, and speaking of age, isn't the Traveler's age also kind of mysterious?
That's true. It looks like all of our characters are intriguing. But it's safe to say that Faruzan is way older than most people in Tibet. Faruzan works in the Academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
So, I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature blessed with long life, you know? Like Klee?
No, she's actually just your regular, typical human being.
Oh.
Well, maybe not so typical. About 100 years ago, Faruzan was an undisputed genius, traveling all around Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries. The notes she left behind eventually became the basis of mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa, she sounds pretty amazing.
But later, she accidentally stumbled into some ruins while trying to solve a puzzle. There, she encountered some strange phenomenon which stopped her from aging, and was trapped there for nearly 100 years.
Woo!
She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Can you imagine being trapped in a puzzle for 100 years?
Mm-mm.
Wait. So that's how she's been a hairbod for over a century?
Yeah. And even now, she still has the pride of a scholar in her heart and is a very talented person. It's just that after being separated from the world for so long, she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Oh, hey, I get what you mean. She was once a proud researcher in a niche field that has become unpopular after 100 years. So, is she still completely dedicated to her field?
Yep. And she often tries using her old age as a means of drumming up support for her ideas. However, I think she'd prefer to be complained about for using her seniority rather than garnering sympathy for her experience of being trapped in the ruins.
Yeah, sounds like she's quite the character.
I know, right? Okay, so now that we've covered her backstory, why don't we take a look at Faruzan's abilities in combat?
Let's do it.
Fight!
100 years have passed.
yet there hasn't been any change to those dumb rules at the academia. Dare to mess with me? Have fun with this gift!
I love all the geometric shapes when she's playing. Did you guys see that?
Yes, there's so much geometry. And I took geometry.
It looks so cool.
Ah, yeah.
So, Faruzan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the usual bow attacks you'd expect from a bow user, so there's not too much to say about that. But her skills are where things get interesting. Her elemental skill deploys a polyhedron that deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex, pulling nearby objects and opponents in.
Oh, nice. So she can clump enemies together.
And there's also another thing about her special charged attack. It will create a vortex effect at its point of impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or ally member, it'll apply a mark and create a vortex after a short delay.
Okay. So it looks like there'll be a lot of potential uses for this attack. Travelers will have to experiment with it and see what they come up with.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to try hitting teammates with the arrow in co-op mode and have them charge into the enemies to group them all together. I'll have to see who wants to try that with me. After unlocking the talent Impetuous Flow, the time required for fully charging Faruzan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's animo resistance. In her elemental burst, she deploys a dazzling polyhedron and releases a whirlwind pulse. Throughout its duration, the dazzling polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of that triangular path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, the next she's polygon for 100 years.
Hey.
Bada boom!
No.
Nyah, 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 nyah.
Even Sino's jokes are funnier than that.
It was pretty
All
funny.
right. Anyway, let's hear what effects these whirlwind pulses have.
Sure. When the whirlwind pulse hits opponents, it will decrease their animo resistance. It will also apply an animo damage buff effect to all nearby party members when it's unleashed. Travelers should note that the effective range of this buff is quite large, and it's not just within the whirlwind pulse itself, so there's no need to go chasing the polyhedron. After unlocking her talent, Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when a team member uses normal, charged, or plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to deal animo damage to an enemy, the damage will increase based on Faruzan's base attack. This effect can only be triggered once for a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it seems she'll be the solid support.
Yeah.
Totally! And as a researcher of mechanics and puzzles, Faruzan has taken it upon herself to explore many ruins, with her travels taking her all across Sumeru. Her exploration talent reflects this, and she gains more rewards when dispatched on a Sumeru expedition for 20 hours.
I'm sure no other mentor in Haravatat has 100 years of experience in solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty hard to beat.
Mhm.
So, the big question is, when can travelers expect to get these new characters?
That is a good question. Let's talk about the upcoming event wishes. In the early part of version 3.3, the Wanderer and Arataki Ito will be available via their own event wishes. Faruzan will also be making her debut in these event wishes. In the later part of version 3.3, we'll be seeing rerun event wishes for both the Raiden Shogun and Kamisato Ayato. And last but not least, the new 5-star catalyst, Tule Tula's Remembrance, will be appearing in a new weapon event wish.
And that's not all. In version 3.3, 2 brand new artifact series will become available. So travelers should be sure to check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
All right.
I hope travelers will have fun experimenting and trying new combinations with these.
Yeah.
Okay, we've already talked about a ton of new content, so why don't we take a quick break with another redemption code?
Sounds good. Roll out the code.
Woohoo! Welcome back to the version 3.3 special program. Okay, Patrick, what do we have next?
So next, we'll be covering the upcoming events for the new version.
That's right, we've already mentioned the Test of Courage event, and I'm sure plenty of you were wondering about that, so let's start there.
Aha! You must be here to participate in the Test of Courage. I can already see a dark aura surrounding the two of you. If you carelessly go running into the event, all it'll take is one little misstep, and the darkness will swallow you up. Some strange and unusual things may occur along the way. If you ever feel you can't handle it, you may withdraw from the event at any time. This is your last chance. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Test of Courage. Enter at your own risk.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is a test of courage, so I'm sure there'll be some scary stuff going on there.
I ain't scared.
Anyway, to successfully clear this event, we'll be facing a series of little tests.
Ooh, what's this? Tests, you say?
Yes, that's right. Word has it that if you walk around the test of courage, you might find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the rules down, so I'll do a quick introduction. Basically, travelers will have to control a bouncing bar to bounce a ball and use skill ball effects to break as many bricks as possible.
Okay, I'm liking this one. Seems pretty straightforward.
During the game, travelers will be able to trigger elemental reactions to break bricks more effectively.
Nice! It even has elemental reactions.
Yeah, we can control the character to move the bar. When the character we're using is either pyro, hydro, cryo, or electro, the corresponding element will be applied to the bar. By switching characters, you can change the element of the bar.
Okay, all the pieces are falling in place now. The bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks also have their own elements, so causing a skill ball of one element to hit blocks of different elements will trigger elemental reactions. There, how'd I do?
Yep, you nailed it. The bar will add the element corresponding to your character. Besides triggering reactions the way you just mentioned, if a skill ball is already infused by an element and it hits the bar, it will also trigger a reaction, causing the skill ball to have some additional effects. When preparing your team, you can equip modifiers to receive various buff effects, which will help you successfully clear the challenge.
Oh, nice.
Also, when there are less than a certain amount of bricks on the board, and the ball lands another hit, the bar will unleash fireworks.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. Travelers can utilize this effect to break some bricks that would normally be difficult to hit directly.
It's like a bonus attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need to select characters of the right elements, equip the appropriate modifiers, and use different elemental reactions to break bricks and score more points.
And then travelers will be able to use their points to exchange for rewards in the event shop, correct?
That's right. Also, travelers will have the option of teaming up and playing the event together in co-op mode.
Oh, looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, in addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will even have a chance to meet with some good friends again, so be sure to check out this new event. All right, let's move on to our next event.
Okay, so next up, we have a race event called Across the Wilderness. Your objective, collecting balloons.
Woo!
I don't know, seems like the Wanderer's abilities might come in real handy here.
I know, right?
So, in this event, each stage will have wilderness balloons scattered all around. Travelers will need to find as many wilderness balloons as possible within the time limit to earn increasingly better rewards. So during the challenge, travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So it'll be important to assemble the right team depending on the traits and terrain of the
Halo,
challenge area.
selamat datang
Oh,
Egy
interesting.
Yeah,
Fabian.
so travelers can also use
Itu
something called the
kode redeem
wilderness
buat
compass
ini
to obtain
dapat
various
primogem.
buffs, which include enhanced jumping
Dimasukin aja
capabilities,
di in-game,
increased movement
di
speed,
ntar kan di
or
di
unlimited
pengaturan tuh,
stamina, etc.
pengaturan account
However,
ada
you
kode
can only
redeem,
claim one buff during each
tinggal di
challenge.
copy paste aja
You
yang
must
di
consume
pin itu
blessed
pin komen
energy to use the compass and
satu-satu ya,
gain
itu
the
kan ada 3
selected
tuh,
buff. You may charge the
8
compass up by
AR
finding
A6
wilderness
sampai
balloons
V,
or interacting
kemudian
with blessed energy in the
NS
challenge. Or you can always wait for
8
the compass
BD
to
sampai
passively
kan,
charge
terus
over time.
yang ketiga ada
This event looks pretty
ST9S2
crazy. It's almost like watching
lumayan tuh
parkour.
dapat
Yeah, there are 2 different kinds of wilderness
300
balloons in these
primogem
challenges. The first is harvest
Kemudian
balloons,
Mora
which will increase the
50.000,
overall
Aerocool
progress of your
sama
search for wilderness balloons.
apa
The other
batu
kind
tuh
is sonar
buat
balloons, which will cause
ini
several harvest balloons to appear around you for a set amount of
buat
time.
nempak
That's awesome.
weaponnya.
So there will be 5 stages available for
Oke,
this event,
sama-sama
and
ya, Gi.
travelers will need to consider the conditions and terrain of each stage to come up
Sorry
with the best way
nih,
to
gue
complete it.
agak
Also, travelers may team up in co-op mode
live-nya
for
lagi
challenges.
live.
Ooh, more
Kurang
chances to
ini.
play together. I love it.
Yeah, same. Okay, let's move on to our next event.
Lagi
Everyone's
enak
favorite
nonton
game of
ini
hide
sih.
and seek is back with the
Special
Wind Race
program.
event. And of course, this is going to be another co-op
Dimana
event, and I for one am
itu
super excited for it.
Nothing
Wanderer
like a good
dulu
co-op.
bersama
Many
dengan
of you might
itu.
already be familiar with this event by
Yang
now,
ngeri sih
but there have been a few
weaponnya
changes.
ini ya.
Let me introduce what travelers can
Masa
expect
gue
to
dapet
see
red
this
phone,
time
kalau dapet
around.
red phone senjatanya
We
itu
can probably
tuh
skip some of the basics this time.
harus
You know,
biasa
players
itu
either
juga.
hide or seek. And then
Okay,
Iya,
wait
iya,
a
aja belum
second. There
dapet
actually might
weaponnya
be
ya.
some new travelers out there who've never seen this event before. So,
Kalau untuk
why don't you
Raiden
start
sama
with some of
Yato
the
sih gue nggak
basics?
gacha.
Right,
Raiden
good point.
udah
Okay,
cukup lah.
let's start at the beginning then.
Nanti
This
lagi.
is a game with a long history in Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into 2 different sides, the rebels and the hunter.
Saya istirahat
You'll need to
juga
use
sih.
skills and
Sampai
master
di
the art of hiding or
3.4,
chasing down others to win this
3.4.
event.
Nggak
The
tahu nih,
goal of the
ada
hunter
karakter
is to
Sumeru baru
capture
lagi
all the
apa enggak?
rebels, while the rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting
Ini
caught by
juga
the hunter.
Skramus Wanderer
Okay,
ini
that's
tuh
straightforward enough. So, what
harus
else you got for us?
digacha ya.
Well, some travelers may remember playing as the
Bagus
rebels and
loh.
getting caught early in the
Apalagi
game.
ada
Once
artefaknya
that would
langsung
happen,
yang
all you
baru.
could do was spectate and watch the
Cocok
rest
pula.
as the others continue playing. But this time around, once you're caught,
Artefak baru
you'll
kan
still be able to
artefaknya
participate in the
Skramus.
match even in observer mode.
Ramus banget lah.
Ooh.
Terus
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Untuk
Once you're in
anime
observer
paling
mode,
si
you can't
Heizo
be
ya.
seen by other players and will
Tapi
receive
Heizo
the
nggak
illusory
terlalu
beacon
ngandelin
skill.
ini sih.
This skill
Normal
will
attack.
allow you to place a random beacon to
Dia kan
confuse the
ngandelinnya tuh
hunter.
skill yang
If the beacon
charge-nya itu
successfully
one punch.
tricks the hunter and is destroyed, then the hunter will suffer an obscured vision effect.
Kalau normal
So,
attack
even
dari
after
normal
you've been
attack,
captured, you can be like a little ghost, trying to help your
hitnya
teammates
gitu kan
by
dan
disrupting
apa
the
namanya,
hunter.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
persentasenya itu
And
nggak
at
terlalu
least you won't have
tinggi.
to sit there and just watch the rest of the match
Cuman
anymore.
berapa gitu.
Exactly. But what does the hunter get this time? I mean, we gotta keep it fair.
Some new windward arts have been added for both the hunter
Terus
and
ada
the
event
rebels.
Bricks,
The
ada
hunter
event
will now be able to
balon
use
ini,
the
ada event
hunter's
rerun.
net. This net can be
Tepak-tepak
thrown
lagi.
and will remove any rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the hunter that a rebel was detected.
Event
If a beacon is
tepak-tepak
caught
udah
in the net, it will be destroyed,
progres
and the
3
hunter
kali
will
jadi
not
kayaknya.
suffer from obscured vision.
Nice.
Atau 4.
So, I guess if you love playing Hunter, you'll probably love this.
Oh yeah,
Harusnya
you
ini permanen
definitely
nih
should.
di
The skill
Tweetbot kan.
rebels used in previous versions of the
Udah
game to
ininya
place
nih,
beacons
bagus
can now
banget.
only be used by
Jadi nggak
players in
bosen
observer
kalau
mode.
lagi nganggur
However,
gitu kan.
the rebels will be able to use an all-new concealing beacon skill. This skill will allow you to deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain invisible while you're around that beacon. All players, including your rebel teammates, will be unable to see you while you're invisible. If the concealing beacon is destroyed by the hunter, then the hunter will have their vision obscured for a short time. Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you end up being captured by the hunter at the start of the game, you'll still be able to participate and assist your teammates. And, did I mention Primo Gems and other rewards? Ah, the good stuff. So be sure to check it out.
Oh, that's awesome. Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends. Okay, our next event is a combat-based event.
Time for some combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a forbidden place warded by dust and sand, mysterious foes have assembled lines of fortifications to stop your coming.
Ooh.
That's right, a new edition of Misty Dungeon will arrive in version 3.3. Stoked.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty Dungeon. Each has a different leyline disorder, and travelers will have to adjust their teams according to the disorder's effects and the distribution of enemies. There will also be trial characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient runes, we can power up the control array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial, additional benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the leyline disorder's effects or revive and heal your team.
You know, If it were up to me, I'd say just go for all the
Welcome buat
challenges.
yang baru datang. Selamat
I know, but
menonton.
travelers should keep in mind that the challenge
Special
objective for
program
each trial
3.3
might
yang
be
telah
different. So be sure to check the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can look forward to winning Primo Gems and other various prizes. Yes.
Ooh, I like prizes.
And last but not least, version 3.3 will also have leyline overflow events. Travelers can look forward to saving their resin and earning more Mora and experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers out there still leveling up all their new characters. And even if you don't need those resources now, it's always good to stock up and have more on hand, am I right?
Yeah. So, travelers looking to upgrade their characters won't want to miss this.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Redeemnya
all good stuff.
In addition to the
kan
new
buka
version's
gamenya nih.
limited time events, version
Buka
3.3 will
gamenya,
also be adding a new permanent
terus
game mode called Genius Invocation TCG.
pengaturan tuh. Menu kan
But before we get into
pengaturan.
that, let's take
Nanti
another quick
dipilih
break
yang
and enjoy
account.
a
Di situ
redemption
ada kok
code.
kode redeem.
Slap that code on the
Ntar
screen.
tinggal masukin yang itu aja. Ini udah kode redeem yang ketiga nih. Tapi gue udah tahu semua sih karena tadi kan jam 7 tuh udah ada sih yang di versi ini dari Twitch sama yang Jepang tuh udah muncul duluan. Ini yang untuk global, ini yang bahasanya Inggris baru di sini. Baru mulai tadi jam 11. Cara redeem masuk ke game, menu nih, terus pengaturan tuh yang ada tombol kayak gear gitu pengaturan kan. Pilih yang account. Nah di situ ada tuh redeem code. Tinggal masukin dah tuh. Dapat deh 300 primo, 50.000
Welcome back,
mora.
everyone. During our journey
Aerocool.
into that, we've stumbled across
Dan
several
batu.
NPCs talking about a game called Genius
Lumayan
Invocation
buat
TCG.
gacha-gacha kan.
So next, we'll introduce this card game that's been taking to that by storm. In the version 3.1 special
Iya, kalau
program, we
special
already
program
revealed
ini
that
tuh emang
Genius
paling
Invocation
ditunggu sih.
TCG will be a
Karena
card game where we can
primogumnya
challenge various
300.
characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But there is actually a legend behind this game. It is said that a young guy in Sumeru found an ancient casket of
Apalagi
tomes
kalau
in the
pas
attic.
update ya.
He opened it and discovered that the
Update
soul of
ganti
an
patch
ancient
gitu
TCG
kan, itu
player called the
600 kalau
Crocodile
nggak salah.
King had been captured
Coba
inside.
nih
What a name.
Genshin menang
It
ini
turns
ya.
out that the
Best
Crocodile
mobile
King
game
was
lagi.
King Deshret's viceroy.
Sayangnya tidak
Battled an
menang.
opponent
Tidak
named
dapet
the
deh.
Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell
1600
prey to his
primo
opponent's
atau 10
heat
kali gacha.
and was
Aduh.
sealed away in the casket of tomes.
Ouch, game over.
Waktu tahun
After
2001
being
2021
unexpectedly
tuh
released by the
dapet
kid,
ya
The Crocodile King
penghargaan
possesses him and
game
helps
mobile
him to
terbaik.
gradually climb the ranks to
Bagi-bagi
becoming a
deh primo
legendary
game.
TCG player.
Nice. Hang on, is it just me, or does that kind of sound like the plot to a light novel or something?
Tapi emang game tidak
You're right.
selamanya selalu
It turns
terbaik
out
sih.
that Yai Publishing House is about to release
Semakin
a
kesini
hit light
semakin
novel
banyak
series based on Genius
game
Invocation
model-model
TCG.
Genshin lah.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for
Entah
Yai
itu yang
Publishing House.
MMORPG atau
But anyway, that's
RPG
the
kayak
legend on how Genius Invocation
Genshin RPG
TCG
based
came to
story
be,
gitu.
though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So while you were telling us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The
Ini
objective
TCG-nya sih
is
bisa
to
ngelawan
defeat all
ini
of
ya,
your opponent's character cards.
That's right.
Also,
NPC.
there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards.
Ya
And
katanya
as you
tuh
might
yang
expect,
TCG ini tuh
these
nanti ada
character cards have
leaderboardnya
a
gitu.
normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst.
Pasti ini nih
So when a character
para
card
sultan
deals
langsung
elemental damage to an enemy, it
mengejar
will cause them to
leaderboard
be
nomor
affected by
1.
that element. Then you can switch to
2021
a character card of a different
dikasihnya
element and use
1600
their abilities to
primogem
trigger an elemental reaction.
yang dapat penghargaan itu ya best mobile game.
Monster character cards? Can we even make a deck of like just the
10 kali
monsters in the
gacha lah.
game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Heck yeah, I am. I like card games.
Who doesn't?
So, Ingenious
Waktu
Invocation TCG,
2020
all
waktu
actions
pertama
require
kali
you to
muncul
spend
itu kan
elemental dice. Each round,
temen
both you and your opponent
pas
will roll
masuk
8 elemental dice.
nominasinya
Each of these elemental
dikasih juga
dice
sih
can have any one
hadiah
of 8
dari
elemental
Koyover,
attributes.
Hold on, but
tapi cuma
there's only
800
7
primogem.
elements in the
Terus pas
world.
You're right.
2021
So, in
menang
addition to the 7
penghargaan
standard elements, there's also one called
ini
the
apa dong,
Omni
best
elements.
mobile game
The
langsung
elemental
dikasih
dice
ada
required for a
1600
character card to
primogem.
perform an action correspond to the character's element. So, for example, a Pyro character like D-Luke needs either Pyro or
Ini
Omni elemental
banyak
dice
apa,
to perform an
banyaknya
action.
teori
Clear now?
yang
Yep, crystal
apa sih namanya nih,
clear.
Also,
ini kan ada
elemental dice can be used to switch
8 ininya
characters
elemen,
or play a variety of other
satu
cards,
lagi elemen
such
baru
as
katanya.
equipment
Wah,
cards, event cards, and support cards. All these cards
sekarang
create the
kita
potential
menunggu
for a variety
Genshin
of
saja.
strategies.
Right. While playing Genius Invocation TCG, travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more
Ini kayak
characters
ini
and
ya,
NPCs. By
pohon apa tuh,
completing
pohon
challenges, you
sakura,
may
pohon
earn
yang di
lucky coins,
Sumeru
new
gitu.
cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins
Dia
can be
ada ini
exchanged
ya,
in the event shop
level
for cards, or can even unlock dynamic skins for certain cards.
Dynamic skins? Those are cards that have moving illustrations, right?
ini
That's right.
dynamic skinnya
All
sih
character
dapatnya
cards
dari
can unlock a dynamic skin.
apa atau
After
ini
unlocking that, there'll even
kayaknya
be a
nggak top
cool
up deh.
bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental burst.
Cool.
And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should note that playing against your friends or
Ini
other
yang sering
travelers
main
won't
TCG
count towards
card
any
kayak gini nih
leaderboards or provide any
pasti
rewards.
jago nih,
So
gampang
you can
ngertinya.
relax. It's all just for fun.
Kalau kayak gue mah paling incer hadiahnya
Okay,
aja udah
that's
nggak main lagi.
everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG, and that brings us to the end of
Tapi ini
today's
mungkin
special
sebagai
program.
Oh.
So, what did you
hiburan
think?
aja ya,
Why
ibarat
does it have to be
yang
over?
main hide
There's
and
so
seek
much
itu
that
yang
this version has
petak-umpet
to
itu.
offer.
Yeah, I can't even take it all
Bagus
in
tuh.
right now. I'm just super
Kalau
stoked
yang
to be
hide and
part
seek
of this.
itu yang petak-umpet
I
di
think I
permanen.
just gained some Kugaryoku points just doing this whole thing, so.
Soalnya biar
The
tipotnya itu
characters look
apa ya,
cool.
I know, what about
tidak nganggur
Scarmush
gitu.
hovering?
Jadi
Like, that's
I know,
insane.
that's
arenanya di
awesome.
tipot,
That's super dope.
main hide and
That's awesome,
seeknya,
and I
petak-umpetnya.
cannot wait to play
Nah itu kan
in some of these
nggak
events and
beda
minigames.
kayak
I'm
waktu
super excited.
event mapnya.
This was
Seru
so
tuh.
fun. I'm really glad that
Kalau
we
di
got to do
tipot
the
kan
special
bangunnya kan
program together.
I'm so
acak-acak.
happy I got to come back for another special program. This is my third time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one, so thank you
Sudah
for
habis
having me.
ternyata.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes,
Doesn't
Sampai
it
di
feel good? It feels
sini
special.
spesial
Feel special?
programnya.
I really do. Thank you.
Well, I think this is the end of our special program. So, I hope everyone enjoyed it, and
gue main
we'll
dulu apa enggak
see you
ya?
in game. Okay,
Gue
bye.
coba
Bye,
apa ini deh.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you
Kita
later.
login Genshin dulu. Ya habis kan. Kita ganti. Login lah, nggak nyari ini dulu deh. Nyari jamur, spektre, sama yang robot segitiga itu tuh. Sebenarnya special program tuh yang paling bagus ya kalau ada arconnya itu. Story arcon, pas arconnya lagi banner arconnya gitu tuh bagus. Special program pasti rame banget. Sudah dipastikan. Oh iya, aduh. Gue belum login inian lagi. Lupa sehari tuh. Ah, enemies. Kita cari Spectre dulu deh. Waduh, ada Mikey. Tokyo Revenger bagaimana nasibnya season 2? Selamat datang Mikey. Tokyo Revenger. Ini pakai ini. Ada apa Mikey? Apakah sedang kesusahan? Bentar. Tokyo Revenger. Oke, ini. Ada apa Mikey? Ini kok nggak ngeluarin ultinya kayaknya. Tidak. Aduh, ada anemonya lagi. Yang paling males nih anemonya ini nih. Pindah. Ya ampun, naik lagi dong. Bentar. Ininya sih gua HP. Ini HP-nya tuh yang bener ini sih. Ini masalahnya di sini nih. Ya, ada yang lebih besar dari itu. Salah. Gacha, aduh, ini gue weaponnya aja gue nggak tahu dapat apa enggak nih. Menjadi masalah adalah primo gemnya. Tandanya menang best mobile game aja kemarin Genshin. Aduh, banyak banget tuh, primo gue langsung banyak. Gue jarang nyari ini sih dulu ya pas di Inazuma, jadinya giliran butuh nih Spectre gini. Ingat gua tuh waktu Spectre ini tuh buat weaponnya siapa ya? Ada banyak loh. Oke, Egi, thank you sudah mampir. Gue juga sebentaran doang ini nyari apa namanya bahan monster ini nih, soalnya tinggal dikit. Jarang ini sih gue. Dia juga niatnya nggak mau live sih, tapi ya karena sudah berapa hari tidak live, Jadinya sekalian saja live lah hari ini, bertepatan dengan special program. Ini pindah lagi nih kan, bener nih, kadang panduan untuk monsternya tuh kurang enak, nggak sejalur gitu loh, bolak balik. Kalau pengen yang sejalur tuh harus hafal gitu. Nggak bisa diambil lagi kayak ginian. Harusnya tuh bisa ngambil pakai Nahida biar enak gitu. Jangan yang di Sumeru doang. Kekuatan untuk mengambil resource Nahida terbatas jadinya. Ini sih bisa ya. Cuman kalau misalkan tanaman khas Mondstadt, Liyue gitu kayaknya nggak bisa deh. Yang kayak min gitu mah bisa. Jangan yang Sumeru dulu. Kekuatan untuk mengambil resource yang ada terbatas jadinya. Ini sih bisa ya. Ini kalau misalkan tanaman khas Mondstadt Liyue gitu kan nggak bisa deh. Yang kayak min gitu mah bisa. Iya, toko Paimon berapa hari lagi ya? Nah, 5 hari cukup lah. Sama spiral juga ya kan, reset. Lumayan. Dapat 5 ini, dapat 600. Dimogem ya. Toko Paimon berapa hari? Di sini lagi ini paling males ya. Kita ganti tujuan ke Pungus. Sama spiral juga ya kan, reset. Lumayan. Pungus. Dapat 5 ini, dapat 600. Dimogem ya. Toko Paimon berapa hari? Di sini lagi. Artefak baru kayaknya emang khusus animo katalis ya. Kayaknya si Heizo bisa juga sih. Normal attack-nya kan dia lebih banyak. Damage-nya juga presentasinya kayak lebih tinggi. Gue lihat, gue kira tuh rendah soalnya B4. Coba pakai itulah nanti Heizo lah. Tapi yang jadi masalah tuh Heizo tuh kurang attack-nya itu loh. Yang jadi masalah itu kurang attack. Mana caranya ngatasin attack-nya itu? Halo suaminya Kokomi, bagaimana, sudah berceraikah dengan Kokomi? Sehat, sehat. Anda bagaimana? Sehat kah? Nama kok suaminya Kokomi. Mana caranya atasin atasnya itu? Kenapa tidak sekalian semuanya disebutkan? Suaminya Kokomi. Bagaimana sudah bercerai? Tapi jarang-jarang sih yang waifunya tuh Kokomi. Sehat, sehat. Anda bagaimana? Sehat kah? Soalnya kan dulu Kokomi itu underrated banget. Tapi sekarang semenjak pecahan-pecahan Bloom, apalagi Bountiful Core punyanya si Nilo itu, Kokomi sangat dibutuhkan. Jarang-jarang sih yang waifunya tuh Kokomi. Tapi gue nggak punya Kokomi sih, soalnya tidak tertarik gitu. Apalagi nyari artefaknya yang ya itu khusus artefak healer dengan artefak geo, udah gitu doang. Sudahlah, jangan marah suaminya Kokomi. Nyari artefaknya yang Anda merasa terhina kah? Kalau Kokomi dijelek-jelekan, nanti saya kena ini dari fandomnya Kokomi lagi. Sudahlah, jangan marah suaminya Kokomi. Nah itu dia, Ocean Yukon kan menu untuk para healer. Jadi healer tuh gak perlu yang namanya misalkan dari Kokomo Hydro lah apa gimana, tidak perlu ya. Yang penting tuh damage dari putih-putihnya itu. Mau healernya Bennett apa Kiki atau siapa kan. Tapi Bennett jangan sih, kalau Bennett tuh pakai Noblesse aja sih, lebih oke. Apalagi kalau Bennett C6 ya, sangat-sangat laki gitu. Yang penting tuh damage dari putih-putihnya itu. Tidak terima dia. Pernah merasakan War 1 versus 146. Oh saya ngikut yang 146-nya, bukan saya sendiri doang. Apalagi kalau Bennett C6 ya. Saya tidak mau lah kalau sendirian. Saya ikutnya di 146 itu. Aduh, weathering wave belum ini lagi. Belum diinin semua. Loh, ini nggak bisa diambil kan? Oh, ini ada monsternya. Oh, kira apa? Belum diinin semua. Ini yang nonton 4, kenapa yang komen cuma 1 ya? Aneh sekali. Ditinggal tidur kah? Sambil nonton. Oh, ini ada monsternya. Apa? Ini yang nonton. Astaga, macet. Seperti sebiji doang lagi. Ini dropannya mirip-mirip yang Nobushi itu tuh, yang samurai. Gue lupa kenapa ada Aida gue pakai ginian. Dan kaki. Ini ada smartphone-nya Hutau, smartphone-nya Ganyu. Bikin ngiler tuh kalau apa namanya muncul smartphone yang collab sama Genshin, tapi harganya selangit. Yang Hutau aja yang S Pro itu tuh gila, itu 17 JT. Yang sayangnya juga ini sih, smartphone yang Hutau, smartphone-nya Ganyu. Bikin ngiler tuh bisanya bahasa Cina, from Cina gitu, tandanya itu global gitu. Bagus banget sumpah. Mungkin nanti yang di Ganyu ini nih, Ganyu kan Samsung Z Fold 4, lebih ke global. Tapi dia masalahnya entah dia global atau yang Korea, aku nggak tahu deh. Ya nggak nyampe lagi sebelah situ. Tapi kayaknya bakalan global sih, Z Fold 4 Ganyu Edition. Mungkin nanti yang di Ganyu ini nih, Ganyu kan Samsung Z Fold 4, oleh Samsung gitu loh, lebih ke global. Kalau misalkan ininya Kirin atau MediaTek gitu kan nggak mungkin lah. Atau yang Korea, aku nggak tahu deh. Samsung itu harganya berapa tuh? Z Fold yang 4 biasa aja 20 berapa tuh? 25 kali. Bagaimana dengan special collaboration Genshin Impact Ganyu? Bisa 35. Padahal itu HP tidak diperuntukkan untuk main Genshin gitu. Tapi kenapa ini ya? Aneh, Genshin mah HP yang kalau collab tuh yang memang dia buat gaming gitu. ROG kayak ROG kan cocok untuk gaming. Terus ada coolernya kan, nggak panas kan. Nah kalau mah HP macam Z Fold udah gitu HP lipat kan, layarnya kan bukan ini kan, layarnya lebih fleksibel gitu, bukan layar yang biasanya. Itu panasnya ngalirnya bagaimana coba? Dimainin buat ini dulu Genshin. Genshin. Oh di situ ada ini dulu deh. Kalau mah HP macam Z Fold udah gitu HP lipat kan. Layarnya lebih fleksibel gitu. Bukan layar biasanya. Lumayan. Ya ada. Oke, ini mana lagi? Ini farming artefak lah. Ada 5 konden, lumayan. Oke, ini di sini lagi. Gue ganti ini aja ya. Tapi ini healing bonus masalahnya nih. Tidak bisa. Ini harusnya tuh. Oke, ini di sini ada ini enggak ya? Maiden. Aduh, dev pula. Gue ganti ini aja ya. Gak ada sih, nggak bisa. Tuh shrine belum gue buka-bukain. Kalau primogem lumayan itu. Aduh, yang di atas tongol lagi. Yang lagi dia. Ya habis. Oh, ini deh. Aduh, ini lewat ya. Itu lagi. Yang lagi deh. Ya habis. Ya, itu ada satu. Dua ternyata dong. Lumayan. Itu ada satu. Dua ternyata dong. Di atas dulu nih. Bener kan di situ ada, sini ada. Karena ada satu. Nah, di atas dulu nih. Jangan pergi jauh-jauh. Kena lagi. Kalau nggak salah itu di bawah. Ini atau mana ya? Nggak kena dong. Ada kali tembakan baru bisa modern nih robot. Semakin jauh 36 20 36 50.000 56 berarti ya. Kalau deket 34 yang ininya belumnya. Duh. Semakin jauh kita semakin 34 36. Kok bisa sih? Saya dekat 34. Saya jauh kalau mau 36. Oh, ada satu. Kayaknya bisa lebih deh. Misalkan kena titik lemahnya monster, terus jauh, bisa lebih. Wah, nge-crit dari tadi, nge-crit mulu padahal. Jalannya ke sini pula. Kayaknya bisa lebih deh. Misalkan kena titik lemahnya monster, jauh, bisa lebih. Wah, nge-crit dari tadi, nge-crit mulu padahal. Jalannya ke sini pula. Artefak loh. Kemudian berhadiah artefak itu. Ini di, aduh, jangan kabur cok. Gua kesel banget ya kalau dia jauh. Bener tadi lewat sama aja sih. Banget sih kaburnya sih ini. Udah muter sampai situ aja loh. Kayak tembus tembok. Astaga, mana lagi nih? Loh, hilang. Loh, loh kemana tadi? Loh. Masuk ke dalam kah? Benar masuk ke dalam kah? Hilang. Kayaknya enggak deh. Aduh, ini ada hologram pula. Astaga. Nah tadi perasaan hilang nih orang. Atau muncul aja gitu. Aduh, ada hologram pula. Yang di sana udah kita farming ini dulu aja gitu. Kita off selesai. Ini tuh lawannya ya si ini ya. Pakai Ini kemudian mau
Matase-chatta?
mau nanya nggak diambil dong.
満天の星はこの手のひらの中にあります。
Muna. Ini tuh lawannya di sini ya.
走るより飛ぶ方が早いよ。
Mau nanya nggak diambil dong. Pakai ini saja lah. Ininya nggak ini ya. Sudah biarin. Energinya mana, Bambang?
逃げようなんて思わないでよね。
これが運命です。
足元に気をつけて。
Meledak-meledak lu. Kurang energi kayak ventinya deh. Energinya mana, Bambang? Aduh. Wih. Saya tidak ngecesain loh, tapi kenapa ini begini? Kurang energi kayak ventinya deh. Ini apa-apa lah, simpan saja. Kurang bagus sebenarnya, harusnya tuh energi kontak persen ya. Tapi itu kurang bagus. Ini kice. Nah ini aja deh. Saya ada damage-nya si ventilasi.
一緒に遊ぼうよ。手をつなぎましょう。運命の共演。逆らいません。
ここだよ。
Udah meleduk lagi. Itu apalagi bounty full core ya, itu ledakan lebih dahsyat bounty full core-nya Nilo kalau artinya dendro plus hydro. Makanya butuh healer yang sangat amat tinggi nge-healnya. Itu apalagi bounty full core ya, itu ledakan lebih dahsyat artinya dendro.
手をつなぎましょう。これが運命です。
ここだよ。
Produk. Oh iya, kalau misalkan artefak baru plus V revision animo OP nggak ya? Nah, tapi nggak ada efek 4 setnya itu jelek juga sih. Cuman yang bagus siapa ya? Kasih Yau 2 anemo 2 itu kan anemonya ningkat 30%. Ininya pakai attack circlet-nya kalau bisa. meledak langsung. Satu lagi nih, itu udah naik, capek. Aduh, saya butuh sesuatu yang ini nih. Untuknya akhir damage bonus di itu yang di put damage RL. Aduh, berharapnya sesuatu yang bagus gitu kan. Oke lah teman-teman, thank you buat yang udah nonton, buat Igi, buat Somin Kukumi, dan buat Mikey, thank you buat semuanya. Aku pamit undur diri dulu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sampai jumpa di next streaming dan di next video gua. Bye bye.
私のお家にいらっしゃい。